No worries. So, welcome back again to those of you who joined us earlier this week. I suppose, but for the benefit of anyone joining us for the first time today, you're very welcome. And just to set the scene, our Persona series, it really is aimed at matching assistive technology tools from Aventido to the real world challenges that are faced by DSA students. And it's really about bridging that gap between student needs and the right assistive technology solutions. So, what we're going to do this week is explore how AT tools from Aventido can remove barriers in relation to things like reading, research, writing, organization, note taking, time management, communication, all of those areas that are probably familiar to some of you that are, as they're considered in a DSA needs assessment. And then we'll look crucially at how our tools can work together to form really a cohesive student-centered support package to meet those needs. So what we're going to do during this series is draw on real-world examples, personas, to illustrate these different types of needs. So you can see how exactly solutions like TextAid, MindMeister, MeisterTask, LightKey, I might as well name them all, if you know,
Oh, that's a
Dragon,
challenge for you.
StudyKey, Debud, ScanMarker, Learnable, all of those things, hopefully I haven't forgotten anything, can really be tailored to support those diverse learning contexts, I suppose. Um, we're very much aware as well that there are other AT software packages, but as we've mentioned before, here at Aventido, we're in a really unique position because we have such a broad range of assistive software across all of those areas of study and across a wide variety of needs. And we'll also examine as well how all of these assistive technology packages can really work together to meet those areas of difficulty. So really our tools, they don't just address one need or one study related problem, but they really can complement each other and they can be recommended as well without duplication of support because we know that that's important for that guidance that comes from the funding bodies. So we hope by the end of this series that you'll leave, I suppose, with a clear framework for matching our technology to the needs of diverse students. Today, we're going to walk you through three different approaches and AT software solutions for Chloe. And Chloe has a diagnosis of anxiety as well as CFS, chronic fatigue syndrome, ME. And that can present with, I suppose, core symptoms and persistent symptoms as well, like overwhelming fatigue. There can be a lot of physical symptoms. There can be co occurring problems, sometimes like IBS. So, with these diagnoses, there can be kind of an overlapping physical and cognitive symptoms like brain fog, and I suppose as well sometimes health anxiety, poor concentration, and the assistive solutions that we'll look at for Chloe as well today. It's worth mentioning that they aren't prescriptive, so we'll suggest some pathways of support for Chloe. But really, what we're trying to do is demonstrate how students with the same conditions can present entirely differently. For example, as well, a student might be assessed mid semester or towards the end of their course. So they may have very specific or very precise needs at the time that they're assessed. So I'm going to hand you over to Mary now to walk you through each scenario for Chloe, and she'll explore all of these tools, an ecosystem of tools, really. So thank you, Mary.
Thanks, Michelle. I did. I said to Michelle just earlier, um, what is? I'm just going to start the slideshow. What is? I'm going to attempt to read it, but I need TextAid really to help me. I said, what is myalgic
Myalgic, yeah,
and
that would be a good one for text aid to read to you.
encephalomyelitis? It's ME, but I didn't see that like the M and the E. I've only ever known it as ME. So there we are. I've learned something today. Uh, Hopefully, I'm not the only one who wouldn't have known what that was, but it may be. Maybe that's the case. Um, yeah, the slide before, that's just showing the solutions we have at Aventido that are DSA approved. So yes, we have many, 4, 8, 12, 13, 14, 14 pieces of AT, all kinds of solutions that help in all areas of study. So we have a nice menu of AT to choose from to join the series. Yes, so Chloe, we've been introduced to Chloe by Michelle, and we'll look at her challenges, her key challenges, and now we've got the areas of study, what she'll be doing at university. And now we're going to sort of match some assistive technology that's going to help her make her feel more motivated, more confident, and more successful with her studies. Because that's at the end of the day what we're looking at, isn't it? We're finding tech to make her achieve all she can and not have her disability as a barrier to her learning and success. So I'm going to move straight away into our option A. So as with the previous days, we've taken a look at 3 options for each person, each persona, depending on what the key challenges are. They may have many, often they have challenges in many different areas, but there's always one area that they need a little bit more help with. They're struggling a little bit more than the others. So it would all depend on how Chloe is finding her time at university as to what she perhaps would benefit most from. It'd be a bit too overwhelming if she was given loads, like 14 pieces of assistive technology. Can you imagine that? That'd be a degree in itself, I think, to learn about that. So yeah, you choose appropriately. And as Michelle was saying, so many of these pieces of AT can be used in different areas of study. So it's not just this one only helps you with reading, this one only helps you with organising. That's quite rarely the case, really. Well, let's have a look because we're not going into detail about all of these products today. If you want to find out more about anything specifically, we regularly do webinars on each product. You can also have one-to-ones with us and take a really good look, personal look at it together. So yeah, so option A for Chloe, if it was that with her fatigue, her ME, as I know it now, I won't say the long word, and her anxiety, where if it was the reading, which you have to do a lot of at university, and the writing and research side of things that are tricky for her, rather than like attending lectures and making notes and things like that, ideal solutions would be, first of all, ProStudy. That's for the research side of things. That's going to help her when she's going to different websites, reading different documents, even in a library, looking at a book. She can collect all of that information in ProStudy. It's going to be all organized, have it all color coded. It simplifies pages of text into little tiles, so they're manageable chunks for her to read. So if she does get very tired, that's going to be less overwhelming for her. And it also magically references automatically in her style for the university she's studying at. You put in the style, can tweak it if it's not quite right, and then when she's collected everything, it creates a wonderful referencing for it all. So that's ProStudy. It's also going to be helpful for Chloe to have the text read aloud, but not just that, actively read the text, especially because she has fatigue and brain fog. Maybe processing speed is a little bit slower, and comprehension, she might struggle with that. Using text aid, she's going to be able to listen to the text being read aloud at the same time as it being highlighted, but also she'll be able to use like the highlighter tool, the annotations tool, to make notes while she's listening, or highlight like those important bits to then be extracted, maybe for summarizing when she is writing the essay. She doesn't have to read through the entire thing again. She's got a nice summary, and also for the timed and unseen assessment. So she's revising for an exam. She's got a summary of those key things she needs to learn, and then she can listen to it to learn it using text aid. So that would be a good option for her, as well as being tired and difficulty with comprehension of reading. Writing takes a lot of energy, doesn't it, and a lot of cognitive load. So for Chloe, it'd be great if she can just say what she needs to write using Dragon, and then she can speak and the computer can be doing the typing. Well, Dragon can be doing the typing for her, so that would be good. That'd be great for when she's writing essays and assignments, but also when she's maybe if she's working together with someone, she can, instead of having to scribble down some ideas, she can just say it and be recorded. So there with Dragon. Also to help with effort when she's typing, and because she has brain fog, Likey will help her find the words she needs, because it will suggest up to 15 words. So she might be having a trouble because of brain fog, like what was word, oh, I can't think of that phrase. Well, Likey learns common phrases. You can upload a whole page of, or a whole document of vocabulary and phrases that she'll be using, and then it will predict very effectively. And so she won't have to type so many words and try and retrieve those words and phrases. So that's going to be helpful. It also saves a lot of time. Like he has like a sort of home screen which shows how much time you save. It's surprising how much is saved there. So that's Likey. And finally, MindMeister. That's going to help her, because it will help her. I think it will really boost her confidence and feel less overwhelmed with all her studies, because if she's using a mind map to plan assignments or take a look at the different modules she's doing in a visual way, in a mind map, or maybe she's doing brain dumping everything she can think of on whatever she's got to write about, she's going to feel more motivated and more confident about tackling that essay if she's created it visually in a mind map and put all the content in there. So it's going to reduce her workload in a way, because it will be all structured and all in one place with a mind map like MindMeister. So that's option A. I've spoken quite a long time about that. We'll move on to option B. So A is if it was the reading and writing research side of things. Option B would be if Chloe was saying, oh, well, no, well, writing's going to be hard, but it's more like pacing, making sure I get my work done on time, especially because there might be some days when I feel so tired I can't do the work, and being organized as well. So she's on top of her workload, especially so she can bear in mind that there might be days when she can't join in. So she can use the scan marker, which is a physical pen. That would be so that she can use the pen to actually have the text read aloud. She doesn't have to put the effort into doing that. But it's not only that. Within scan marker, there's an audio recorder, so she could record some notes or some ideas she has, instead of her having to type it or like open something up to do that. She can quickly add ideas immediately using the scan marker. Or maybe if she's feeling particularly tired and she can't concentrate very well in a lecture, she could maybe just record it using the scan marker. So it's got multiple uses there with just one device. And also if she had to leave the room for whatever reason, she could leave the scan marker recording instead of her phone. Mind mapping, of course, also helps with organisation, especially if it's paired up with MeisterTask, which is you can get that as a bundle or separate products. The MeisterTask, you can create tasks within your mind map, and then they can be organised in Kanban style schedules. You can see it visually on a timeline if you want it that way. You add deadlines. Those deadlines can be added to a calendar to help make sure that she monitors when she's doing things. So they'll work really well together for someone like Chloe who struggles with organisation. Likey, that's all about time saving, like I've mentioned earlier. And MeisterTask, it's like not just about writing assignments. MeisterTask is going to help her with presentations and group work and assessments, because she can plan the revision schedule and put all the content even in a mind map or in MeisterTask. So it's all in one place, and she can really see, I've achieved revising this and this and this, and now I can see what I need to do next. So it's really going to help with her organisation, especially when it comes to revision for exams. And then Study Key, Now, Study Key was originally made for mental well-being, and then it was developed further into a helping hand overall with study and organization, and having an app on your phone that will immediately give you cues, reminders of things you need to do. It's used a lot by nurses. We talked about that yesterday. And it's there. It's a helping hand on your phone. It's a phone app. Is Study Key. So it also does help with monitoring your mood or how well you're feeling about certain tasks. So, and it can be paired up with maybe a tutor or even a parent if they want to help their childhood at university. They can help with the monitoring how things are going with Study Key. So that's an option if it was pacing an organisation that was more of a challenge, a specific, more challenging than other areas. And finally, option C is if she was sort of dreading the lectures and the reading side of her studies. I think most students find it challenging in lectures. How do you make notes? I was talking to my colleague Izzy this morning about note taking. It's like it really does surprise me that that all students don't have a bit of guidance as to how to study effectively when they get to university. But that's another topic anyway. We're short on time, so yeah, lectures. Ivy is stands out to me as something that would really be a big help for Chloe, and that's because it records the lecture or even a document. You can upload a document, and that text can be put in to a mind map. So audio or text can be uploaded, and it creates during the lecture a mind map. So it splits up the lecture into different sections. So you can clearly see the structure of the lecture. That's really going to help with learning. You can see the big picture, basic ideas from the lecture, but you can also go into all the details and even listen back to parts of the lecture that you need to. And you can edit it all as well, but it creates a mind map from what it captures. So that's what Ivy is, Ivy Notes. So great for lectures. Also great for presentations. So you can practice your presentation with Ivy and then take a look and make sure you're structuring it well, because by looking at the results in the mind map. Now, text aid is also going to be helping with the reading side of things. We've already talked about that, and is also going to help with revision. We've touched on that previously, so I won't repeat myself with that. But with Learnable, now Learnable is going to help with assessments and Chloe effectively learning from the lectures. So what you do with Learnable is you upload the content, so lecture notes or just any kind of notes, any kind of text can be uploaded, images as well, and it uses that content to create many different methods. I think it's 12 different methods of learning. So it's flashcards and a funnel method and filling in gaps in passages of text, all different styles of learning. So that's going to help Chloe with her learning, especially because of her difficulty with brain fog and I think because she might be feeling tired, learning in different ways is going to keep her more alert, I think, rather than just trying to read through your notes, which is put anyone to sleep, wouldn't it? And then finally the OM system that will record her lectures for her, and now you can do things with the recording. And also if she is not able to stay in the lecture because she's feeling particularly bad, or maybe she's anxious and she needs to leave because she's maybe having a panic attack or something, she won't want to leave her phone in the lecture room, but having an OM system there, she knows it's going to be recorded high quality, so she'll be able to clearly hear the lecturer, and she can leave that in the room while she needs to go and feel a bit better. So So that is option C, and that is Chloe. So yeah, we've taken a look at another situation with a student, so Chloe, who has ME and chronic fatigue and anxiety. So hopefully that's been useful, just to take a look and have a think about assistive technology and pairing it appropriately for Chloe. All depends on how she would answer questions, of course, in her assessment as to what would be best suited for her.